Rising. How y'all doing this evening? Just getting set up here. Welcome to Enhance Holistically Tarot and Life Advice. And if you're not familiar with this channel, my name is Tamika. Please forgive me. I'm just looking away to set up some music real quick. Um, and welcome. As you can see, a difference is taking place for those of you that do know me and that follow my channel pretty closely. I'm going to give a bit of a disclaimer. If you hear a little bit of whimpering in the background, my dog just had, she got her spay yesterday, so she is feeling a little bit under the weather, so she may be having a little bit of whimpering, but I wanted her to be close to me so that I can tend to her. That's my baby. So what's good? I've been kind of out for the last 2 weeks, just giving myself some time to reflect and rejuvenate and regroup. And from time to time, you need to do that. In addition to that, I got a chance to go visit some of my family. And so for some birthdays that was taking place. And so that was awesome as well. Um, this season is slowly but surely coming around, the fall season. So what does that mean? That means cycles are ending and beginning. And so with every cycle, because that's kind of truly how we work, whether we want to acknowledge it or not, with every cycle, you have to just kind of acknowledge where you are in your space, your time, reality. What goals have you set for yourself? What goals have you actually accomplished that you have set? And what are those that are still kind of sort of do outs, if you will? Hopefully, the lighting is okay in here. I have a lamp in here now. I don't know if it's going to make too much of a difference to put on the big light, but the sun is setting. It's been overcast all day, pretty much. So that's that. Some things that just I want to make note of that I kind of realize is that the more you grow, sometimes you outgrow your circle. Sometimes you will become increasingly misunderstood, but that's okay. Definitely need to be comfortable with yourself. And, sometimes, depending on what your gift or what your talent is, you may have to travel some of these roads like alone or with other like minded individuals. So, your family and friends that you used to find as an outlet to discuss certain things and to kind of maul over things, you may, and because your opinion and your lifestyle has changed and your mentality and how you conceptualize situations and come to whatever conclusion you deem to be as best for you, you will quickly realize that you're in a different space, and that is totally fine. That's what we call growth. It might not be growth for anyone else but you, and that's fine. But it's up to you as the individual to acknowledge where you are in that process. Always, okay? And like I said, with the cycles ending and beginning, you have to reevaluate and reflect where you are in that cycle, and what is it that you need to put forth effort to do, which you still have left to accomplish, whether it be spiritually, physically, emotionally, or mentally, and get to it, right? So without further ado, I did receive my 7 African Power statue in the mail last week, and we did some prayer and anointing over that, set some intention. So definitely having a great expectation for some things that we are kind of setting forth in the atmosphere. Kind of like this frankincense, and go ahead and get that done really quick. But hopefully everybody's doing good. I mean, it's great. The weather here in Atlanta is starting to cool down some, so that's great. Look at that flame. I love flames. Control flames, that is. So as we get prepared here, we're just setting our intentions. Spirit guide angels, ancestors, divine white light, divine beings, heavenly beings that are destined to be here on this earth for us to guide us into our higher selves. Yes, yes, yes. I wasn't sure what decks I was going to use today. I kind of figured after I started recording that would come to me. But I do have some decks out. We're just going to start with those, and as time goes on, if I feel led by spirit to include some other things, then we will. But first and foremost, we're going to start with the law of attraction card. You know, revelation is very powerful. When things are illuminated in our lives that we probably don't want to face at that moment, and then you get to a place where you're like, I'm ready to face everything. I'm ready to know everything there is to know. And one other thing that I kind of was mulling over during this time that you guys haven't seen me was the fact that I wanted to get to breaking some generational curses, things that have happened in your lineage, in your family, your generation before you, that affect you in this life right now, and that you probably would have no knowledge of unless you seek out to know exactly what that is. And so those are some things that I personally have been dealing with, going back and trying to dissect what is it that's happened in my family and how does it affect me here in the now, okay? And what is it that I can do to ensure that I don't continue something that is not favorable or fruitful for the generations after me, okay? Let me take a sip of my tea here. So that has been my time here. Um, some people in your family might not let you know certain things because if your family is anything like my family, you have a lot of family secrets. A lot of family secrets. But as you begin this work, and as you ask your ancestors, okay, and your spirit guides to kind of show you, illuminate some things for you. Now, granted, that's not going to happen unless you're ready for it to happen. But when it does happen, you also get the tools, the appropriate rituals, if there be any that you decide to do or take part in. You get those nuggets that you need in order to sever those ties to whatever might have been holding you bound. Okay, because a lot of times we try to figure out, why am I feeling this way? Why do I have this temperament or whatever the case may be? I'm just gonna light some frankincense and myrrh, and you have to be protected. Set your intentions to be protected with some of those things because you have no knowledge of what has happened prior to your existence here on this earth. And this energy that is floating around, you kind of got to get to the bottom of it. And that's where that reflection, that's where you communicating with your God and your ancestors. That's where that comes in at, because otherwise you would not know. I'm just lighting some frankincense and myrrh. My dreams have becoming very increasingly more vivid as well, and lucid at that. So these are the things that I've been asking my God and my ancestors to reveal to me, and it's been going that. But once it's revealed, it's kind of like, what is the direction after that? That's the next question. So that's where I've been. So without further ado, and I don't want to make this too long, I'm gonna try to get this under 45 minutes, and I've probably been talking for like 15 minutes as it is. But we have trust here, okay? We have trust. Trust is a very, very, very important attribute when it comes to trusting yourself, trusting those in your environment, gaining those trusting relationships, and also trusting your spirit, okay, your intuition. But this says, I set my intentions and trust my abilities to improve my circumstances. This definitely has everything to do. Improving your circumstances go full circle. It goes on all four angles and all four perspectives, whether it be you improving your circumstances, your abilities for yourself, improving your social circle, improving going back to school, learning a new craft, or whatever the case may be. But whatever those are, our existence here is to improve, to find out first of all what our abilities are, and then use those to the maximum capacity. All right. So that was the law of attraction card, and now, oh, I really want to do the love attraction card as well. Because perfect love casts out everything. A lot of us have been fearing some things that's going on, but you have to understand that fear is something false appearing real, a false evidence appearing real. So when we realize and we kind of know that something is trying to invoke fear in us, then it will not have power over us. So the law of attraction card was joy, or is joy. And it says, joy, you delight in the love of life and bring a spirit of fun to all that you do. And that's important because all of us want to have happiness and joy and peace in this life, right? We all want to do that. And like I said, I might be looking down a little bit because I'm trying to pay attention to what my dog is doing. Okay, so here we go. We set these intentions. That card turns over. We'll talk about them after I get them out because I want to just kind of conserve the time a little bit. And then one of the cards that just came out is along the lines of what I was just talking about, as far as being around people that you used to hang around, and then you haven't seen them for so long. You have kind of come into your own about what your life is and its purpose, and your opinions probably have changed about some things. And then you find that, hey, I'm growing in a different direction. Doesn't make you necessarily better than them. It just makes you different. Okay. So we had self-acceptance here. We had manifestation. We're always setting our intention to manifest things in our life. Surrender and release. So the surrender and releasing comes from, well, manifestation is the product of surrender and release, I should say. And then out of that, you birth new ideas and inspirations. So let's talk about this. So right off the bat, right off the back, I feel a sense that someone or a group of you may be feeling as though I'm moving into another venture in my life. I'm moving into another chapter. And you may be going through this self acceptance phase. You may be going through the phase of, okay, now I've grown to accept that I think different, I do different, I set different goals, different realities for myself. And you're in that stage of accepting that about yourself. Yourself is the most important person that you will ever learn. And so when you're able to take a seat and look back at your naked self and see yourself for who you truly are and not the mask that you want people to see, then things will truly go forward for you. And I kind of want to mix these cards out of order a little bit. It doesn't really matter the order at all. But then we go into surrender and release. So once you become to the point where you surrender and release any kind of ideas, any false perceptions that you have put out in the universe for yourself or for other people, then you release those things. And that's when your true growth comes in. So to me, the self acceptance is really looking at yourself in the mirror, gazing at yourself in the mirror, the good, the bad, and the ugly, examining all parts, and then trying to master or manage what parts you want to keep and what parts you want to dispel. Then you come into the release and surrender phase, which is the release and dispel phase, I feel. And so, in order to grow, you have to let some things go. All right. I really believe that. You have to get rid of whatever you might have been taught that you have now learned is not the truth. It's not your truth. What I should say, it's not your truth. It's all about a quest of finding your truth, your space, your time, and where you fit in this whole ordeal. From that, manifestation starts. Then things start to become clearer. And like I said, revelation is a very powerful thing because once you do the surrender and release, then things will start to manifest more clearly in your life. It will begin to illuminate. And then you can see things for what they really are. It's like looking in a crystal ball and it's no longer foggy. You can see exactly where your life is heading. You can see exactly your next steps of what you gotta do, that next business plan, that mate, okay, whether you need to remain in that relationship or not. All of those things, however it applies to you, become clear. And then you have the ideas and inspiration. And once you get clear about you, that just begins to flow. Manifestation, the ideas, the inspiration, all go hand in hand. Okay. And then when you have that self acceptance, you can trust yourself a lot more. You can trust in your abilities. You can trust your dreams. You can actually see and feel and touch your guides. Okay. Now, my friends, we about to get into it. About to get into it. So, I said a lot without saying a whole lot already. This is going to be for most of you out there. Because, like I said, as the cycles change, as you adjust, as you reflect, you put in your work, you heal, you go through relationships, you're in different environments, you move physically, okay? You move out of some friendships and relationships, you enter into other friendships and relationships. All of these play a part, okay? But your intentions have to kind of be set in order for that to come into the fullest fruition. Okay, and of course we all want to have that joy and peace, right? So here we go. I want to actually get into the spread. I'm going to show you the. Okay, all right, that's good. Like I'm gonna go ahead and place the cards down so that I won't take so much time going into it. And plus, this is a story being laid out here. So I really want us to get the full story. But I can tell you right now that a lot of you are going through a period of a lot of growth and vitality. You're looking at your health more. You're trying to take care of your physical body, your spiritual body. You're trying to seek. Okay, you're abandoning the fears. You're abandoning the false perceptions, and you're taking complete control of that. You're communicating more. Okay, you're saying crystal clear how you feel about certain situations, especially situations that directly affect you. I like this reading already. They coming out, honey. Okay. Oh, they're coming on out. Yeah, yeah, they're coming on out. A lot of you are really using your resources right now. You're using all of your tools. You're using the people that you need in your life. You're really dissecting relationships right now and trying to weed out those that are truly, truly on your life path and that will help enhance you and propel you, okay? Because all of us want to see the trajectory of our growth. And some people are not in that circle. Cycles definitely are changing. People are changing. Some of you may be moving to a new place or starting a new business. And some of you are just really doing that inner work that you need for yourself. And that's being very evident. You're really standing your ground right now. Some of you have been torn between decisions that you have to make about maybe individuals or whatever might be going on, maybe possibly money or events. I see money on the table. I also see ideas and strategies here too. But you are really, really setting yourself up. You're really coming into that self-acceptance of who you are, and I'm just loving it. Some of you are stealing away from things and moving away from things that no longer serve you. Like I said before, you're really getting clear about being clear, if you know what I mean. And you're having those, you're really being non-negotiable about your joy, your peace, and your happiness right now. Yep. And you are really, your wishes are being fulfilled. Okay, whatever you have been really set an intention about is really coming to fruition. Then we have the Three of Pentacles here. So you are in abundance, whether that be a knowledge abundance, a money abundance. You're in some type of abundance where you're able to give to other people because you have really come into knowing yourself. Then you're able to give that advice, that pure advice, under the conviction of you know who you are, and then you're able to guide and direct people in what they're needing to do. What's up, baby? All right, so let's get it. So, like I said before, some of you are really, really, we had the sun card here. We had the sun card. And the sun really talks about vitality. It talks about growth. You see the sunflower there. It talks about fertility. It talks about joy, peace, harmony, tranquility, things being illuminated in your life. All of these is what the sun card represent, and that was actually what is going on in your whole ordeal right now. And so that is what you're currently experiencing. And like I said before, once you get to that self acceptance phase, then you can see the light of day. You can start to really appreciate yourself and your differences, even as it relates to some of your family and friends and your social circle as it is now, which is probably going to be changing here. Okay? If you choose, I'm not saying get rid of your friends. I'm just saying know the differences and know what serves you personally versus being coerced and allowing somebody else to be pushing their thoughts, their views on you. Know who you are. You're really becoming to be more vocal about what it is that you want, whether you're talking or praying or meditating, putting things out in the atmosphere, or you're talking to someone, okay, a family member, friend, business partner, whatever the case may be. You're really becoming very in charge of your throat chakra. You're really having some clarity about where you're going, where your future is, what it is that you want to feel and think. All of those things are becoming clear for you. What's crossing you is this Nine of Pentacles here. You have really reflected back on all that you have accomplished, and you're really being appreciative of it. You even reflecting on the growth. So some of you it might be in a money sense, but I feel just with everything else on the table, you're really looking back and seeing how much you've grown as a person. Okay, so that's what this is signifying. That's what's crossing you right now. You're really getting that clarity, especially with that King of Swords being there. And your subconscious, you're really ready to embark on the next step with the Ace of Pentacles here. And for some of you, like I said, it may be a business, but I really feel looking at everything in its totality, along with the Oracle cards that came out before, is really a sense of you getting to you now growing into a new norm for yourself. Okay, you're getting into those beginning stages. You're going back to the basics, but not to the point where you don't know where you're going. Okay, you're not starting back at square one. You're going 10 and beyond. All right. So, with that being said, you have all of what you need, you have all of who you need. And like I said, you are really starting to make that distinction between what it is that you need, what you want, and what you deserve, what you've been probably settling for. But you have all. So it is above, so it is below. Okay, so you have that power of that that manifestation here, as you saw here. You are now being in the seat where you can drive, honey. You are driving to where you want to be. You don't have to sit in somebody else's passenger seat and go with their thoughts, their dreams, their realities. Now you have your own, all at your disposal. This Queen of Wands here, she's sitting on her throne. This is the confidence that you've been searching for and seeking for. Now you have it. So those strategies, those techniques, whatever it is that you might have felt at one time you weren't able to perform, now you have that. Okay, that coupled with the Magician in the past position, you now have that. Okay, and this is not so far past. Don't get it twisted. All right, stay woke. Get your rest. Whatever. But you are now sitting with authority. You are now sitting with poise about yourself that others are going to start to realize and see. And like I said about those cycles, now it's time in your future tense, or yeah, in your future tense, you are really starting to see that this is a shift going on. It's a shift going on to the point where it may, in some aspects, feel uncomfortable for you. But it's all going to be for your greater good. It might be some things that you might not be privy to, as I'm just drawing attention to this monkey here that's blindfolded, because sometimes we don't know what's ahead, but you definitely can set your intentions, and so you can start to create that roadmap in the spirit for those things that you want to begin to manifest there. The Two of Swords here, like I said, you might be in the midst of some decisions, not knowing how to kind of go about things, but you definitely have been standing on the rock, and you definitely are starting to get that confidence and that know-how that you've been seeking for and searching for. Now you're starting to feel your inner strength kind of go with the Two of Swords. And like I said, with the you're dividing the bullshit from the truth, your truth. Okay, so now you're starting to really accept, and things are becoming more illuminated for you. All right. So here, in this environment. You're ready to go. You're trying to move forward here with this the seven of swords. Excuse me. You're moving forward. Okay. You're gonna leave whatever this is here that's lit. You're gonna pick up what you have, and you're gonna go ahead and move away from the situation. Something to me comes that says, "Let sleeping dogs lie." But you got to move on, and what you are moving on. So that's where you are. You're leaving whatever's behind you that's no longer serving you. It might have seemed like a good thing because in the midst of this snow, he's leaving this fire. Okay? It might have seemed very good, but now you're knowing, hey, I got all that I need to pick up and make and create my own fire in my own way. I have all that I need to pick up, leave the fire that someone else has started and start my own fire. That's what I feel for a lot of you. And then with that, your wishes is really starting to come true. Your hopes and fears, whatever you have been facing, is definitely starting to come to fruition because now you're being illuminated. Okay, you had the sun starting out, and now you have the star. So now, even in the darkest times, you're starting to feel illuminated. You're starting to know exactly what it is that you're doing, where you're going, and you're pouring out equal portions, meaning that you're balanced in the situation. All right. And wherever this is, it's starting to come very swiftly for you. It's like a matter, it's like some things that would take people years to manifest, you're starting to really, since you've gotten to the point of self acceptance and knowing that you want, it's starting to come like light years ahead of what it would have been. Stay woke, stay tuned. What else are we talking about, Spirit? Let me see here. What time? I'm doing good on time. We're at like 26 minutes, almost 27 minutes here. Let's clarify some of these things here. Let's kind of seal what's going on this reading. We have the Queen of Air sitting on your throne, knowing what it is that you want. Okay? It says objective decision making, change, clearing away all that no longer serves you, and seeing the humor in the situation, which is exactly where you were here, sitting on your throne, knowing who you are, knowing where you're going, having more clarity, having a more strategy for yourself. What, sweetheart? You gotta get down, okay? My dog is getting extra down. She's getting back into herself. She was so groggy yesterday. Wait a minute, wait a minute, wait a minute. Get down, get down, get down. All right, sorry about that. So yeah, like I said, that Queen of Air is out there. Mm-hmm. All right, this Ten of Water, Ten of Cups. A contented and rewarding family life. Your emotional, material needs are met. Trustworthy relationship. So now, people, now that you know when you get more clarity about yourself, you get more clarity about your environment, the things that you eat, the things you put in your body, your social circle. Okay, so Seven of Air or Seven of Swords, which is the same as we had here. You're moving away from situations. Okay. Here it says more that meets the eye. Plans need to be revisioned. And it's some timing. It is your timing though. It is your timing. Which once was poor timing is now on time for you. And then you have the sun. Can't make this stuff up. This is what we started out with. Okay. The sun card says happy outcome, brilliant new ideas that lead to success. Have confidence in yourself. And with that confidence, as we said before, it came from what we started out with, which was that self acceptance. Okay, everything stems from that. Everything. I don't care what kind of books you read, everything comes from accepting yourself. Everything comes from that. I don't care what you've been told, what you used to do, your family lineage, who your mama, your daddy is. Everything stems and comes from now that you've had that foundation. What is it that you're going to believe and know about yourself? So I really feel like in this cycle, we're going into the cold month. It's kind of hibernate with the ideas and knowledge that you know who you are. We have unity. The number 5 dictates some kind of change is going on as well. And the 5 reduced to I mean, excuse me, the 10 of this wheel of fortune is reduced to 5. So let's see. Traditional viewpoints or methods, spiritual organizations, seek out mentors or like-minded people. That now, people, is going to be your social circle. You might be saying, I might be living somewhere where there's not a whole bunch going on. I urge you to go to like meetup.com and start putting in some of the things that you want to be, surrounded with as far as people and environment. And look up people that have your same skill set, your same interests, or whatever the case may be. And the 3 of water. The 3 of water says celebration, a wedding, graduation, or birth announcements. The need to have more fun. Let's do one more. I think we're getting some really good clarifiers. Really good. The star. And we have that here in the spread. Okay? The star. Happy times. Make positive, optimistic, long-term goals. Because why? You're on the right path. And like I said, because you're on the right path and because you're doing the work, you are starting to see those manifestations a lot quicker than you would. Because now you're in position. Now you're in alignment to what it is that spirit and the ancestors have been trying to kind of give to you. Now you're in the know, so to speak. Now you're in the know, and it's all about the know of yourself. And don't forget our law of attraction card, trusting in your abilities to improve your circumstances, whatever your circumstances may be or have been. Okay? So that has been my time. I thank you so much. I love you all. Remember to continue to love on yourself, love each other, set healthy, attainable goals for yourself, set the best of intentions for yourself. Eat as good and as great as possible. You see that she's trying to really get my attention. Eat as good as possible, drink plenty of water, and just be around good people. Be around good vibrations, okay? And then set the things that you know that you want to see. Set those in place. Set those in motions. Make a plan for yourself. Write them down. Write the vision down. Do a vision board. Whatever it is that you got to do to motivate yourself and to stay grounded for yourself, you do that. Till next time, I love you. Like my shirt says, love, and take care of yourself. All right, this is Enhanced Holistically Tarot and Life at Life.